Should we do Ted Rogers? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a little bit of a different video this time round. We're looking at two guitars and comparing them based on the myth that a Les Paul, which is this beast here, right, that, and it is heavy. It's basically a Tele on steroids. And I think the myth comes from the Jimmy Page thing. He started out his Led Zepp career on the old Telecaster there, the one with the dragons. Well, he painted a dragon on it, and that, I think Fender reissued those a few years ago. And then he moved on after Led Zeppelin 1 and Led Zeppelin 2. He wanted something a bit more oomph. He still basically liked the Tele sound, he just wanted more oomph. So he went on to the Les Paul. And he still famously used the Tele throughout Zeppelin. He did the solo to Stairway to Heaven on the Telecaster. The two guitars do blend well together in a mix. And I think there's definitely some truth in the fact that these two are kind of distant cousins. Yeah. So we'll get some sounds and we'll have a look at all of that. So, starting on the bridge pickup of the Tele. Before I move on, I should say, extra comparison, of course, is you've got two pickups on the Les Paul, three-way selectors on both, volume and tone on the Tele, and this has got two volumes and two tones. So similar enough in terms of the electronics. Of course, you've got the two humbuckers, two single coils on here. So bridge. You get such a lovely cutting sound with the Tele. That sort of jangly sound. Tele to me, the working player's guitar, does just a little bit of everything, but I think it does it a lot better than people give it credit for. You want to goose that gain? You might be surprised what it can do when you have this flat out. Gain to that. So I've got the Wampler Tumnus on the deck here, basically a clone, but it just adds a little bit more. You see what they both do with a bit of drive on them. So yeah, very versatile already on the Tele. Get some big sounds on it. I'll move on to the middle pickup now. In my opinion, this is just underrated all round. I love the sound of this. I know some people hate it, but I love it. Open chords. Beautiful. Can sort of get a honky sound, a bit of funk on it, put a bit of gain on. on to the neck pickup. A lot of people think neck pickup on a Tele is useless. I think some of the older Teles not impressed me at all, but I think nowadays, you know, they're doing more and more of their own wound pickups, using some of the pickup geniuses going around there knocking about, and they're getting them to sound much more livelier and thicker. And this is being a Suhr, it's their own pickups, and there's a lovely sort of plummy mellowness to it. That's the Tele. I think the most. Oh, I'm going to put it in a bracket, and I think I might do a separate video on this. It's one of the contenders as the great all-rounder in the world of electric guitars. So let's look at the Les Paul and see what or where they cross over, how they differ maybe. So for all of you with OCD, sorry about that. So this is an R8 or Gibson Les Paul from around 2011. It's got burst bucker pickups in it as far as I know. It's not as heavy as the real heavy ones, but it's not a lightweight either. It's somewhere in the middle. If you've got that around your neck for an hour, you know about it, but I've used it live and yeah, you get used to it. It's a solid lump. So moving on, let's start with the bridge pick. Already, as you'd expect, bigger, fatter sound, but it's a darker sound. Tele. I think it excels on the bridge pickup, the Gibson Les Paul. You just want that weight, that girth. but you just maybe don't want to go mega metal. You just want a big sound to fill out. You know, you play an E chord. I think you know the next note. That kind of thing. Move on to the middle pickup anyway. Again, Jimmy Page used this a lot in a lot of the Zeppelin stuff. Very nice. You can goose it, you know, get most of the volumes flat out. Not my favourite sound, but much prefer it sort of with the volumes on both pickups roughly around the 5 mark, 4 mark. But yeah, Tele's more jangly, but you can hear comparisons again, I think, between the two. Obviously this is a little darker, it's a little thicker, but it's a little darker, but you can hear comparisons there, so you can see. I'll page you there, it wasn't stupid if when you put the middle position of the Tele on, which he used to love, I love it myself, and you do the same here, yeah, they're not a million miles apart. Move on to the neck position. Should be more. The funk test. We'll go in the middle position here, see what we can get. Tumnus is now on. Superb. So yeah, you can get it, but I would say the Tele's more subtle at it, better at it, but you can still get at it. So the conclusion, what can we draw from this? Turn the volume knob off this in a minute. Right, the two babies sat on the knee. For me, I'd say there's definitely a crossover ground with these two guitars there. Certainly on the bridge pickup of the Tele, it roars. You can add and it roars and it's solid. It cuts through the mix. There's a definite correlation there. The middle pickups can be quite close too. Obviously, there's more depth, more bottom end on the Les Paul. But again, the Tele, I'd say, cuts through better. On the neck pickup, well, notoriously the weak point on Teles, I think the neck pickup on the Les Paul, it does beat it in that area. I would, as an all-rounder, if you ask me to take one, it's an all-round gig. I'm playing a bit of everything in it. I'm going to probably plump for the Tele, I think. Yeah, I'm going to plump for the Tele. You can, like I say, you can add to it. It's hard to subtract away from the Les Paul. So, in my opinion, the all-rounder is the Tele. But if you want to, like back in the late 60s, early 70s, you wanted to make a statement and be loud and proud, but still have some clarity and definition, you can see why people moved on to the Les Paul guitars like it. So that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it. It's a bit different for me. Still early days on this channel, but I'm trying to look to do different things. I do want to sort of expand out more into the guitar side of things, rather than just doing the pedal stuff and the songs. We'll have to see how this one goes, but I enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. It only remains for me to say tatty bye.